So yeah, I think we are technically on week 9 of the assignments. It says we have this meeting due. And why am I not? Oh, week 9. Okay. But then if you click on, is everybody on Brightspace?
Yeah.
If you click on the what refined prototype, it's just saying that we need to, this is probably what the assignment's talking about when it says to define what still needs to be done and who's going to do it.
Okay.
I don't think this is the final prototype, but I think this is supposed to be a workable prototype. I think.
Okay.
Where on Brightspace are you again?
Week 9. Oh, it does say instructor will meet with each group for 15 to 30 minutes. I think that's just because it's an in-class thing.
Okay.
But so I think I have this on the Google Doc.
Yeah.
So then if we go back to week 9, then we're supposed to have this conference. Just saying the assignment this week is to submit a list of action items for the project.
So that just is basically just to send the checklist in and meet about the checklist and what
Yes.
else needs to be done.
So I've kind of started the items needing completed, which is just some aspects from the design journal that everybody needs to get on and like meet the design team. Everybody has to do their section. And then the team contract, I mean, I kind of have wrote some stuff in. But if you guys want to go through that and look it over and add stuff, take away stuff, it doesn't matter to me. Everybody can add something and then we can just like combine it. And then the design journal also had the week 7 feedback insights. I don't know what was right after or right before that. Maybe we need to go back through and do some feedback.
Okay.
What was week 7? Week 7 was the solution analysis. Oh, our mock-ups. So we could probably just go back through and fill in some stuff for our mock-ups.
Okay.
And if I get time, I could probably try to work on that tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna put and then
Oh, sorry.
and then that meeting 17, it's in the design journal. It just needs to have the character profile done, I think.
The character profile.
Yeah, it's underneath, I think, all of the literature reviews.
Is that in
It's in the Google Doc.
the final?
Yeah, the design journal. You're gonna be scrolling down for a sec after all these pages load.
What week is it in?
Let me look. It is, I went too far. Technically, it's week 9. The week 9, the thematic identification and composite character profile. I kind of did the graph I think it was asking for. And then I just didn't know what kind of picture of user you guys wanted. And then the characteristics. I kind of revised the problem or the point of view statement too. You guys can look over that. And I think it still needs to be changed. So that section just needs to be done and finished.
Okay.
I mean, that's not
Picture of
pressing.
user.
None of this design journal stuff is pressing. It's just going to need to be finished before we turn it in.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think that was it for the design journal. And then now coming up to this week's assignment. our second prototype. So we respond to peer feedback as a group. And then compile evidence that shows your prototype will function. And then compile evidence that we will perform a test. And then bring all evidence and prototype to class. So that's just probably submitting it.
Okay.
So I think this week is just stepping out how we're going to make our next prototype.
Okay.
So are we gonna start the process of making an app, or what are we doing?
I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I mean, I guess I can do the heavy lifting on the coding front for something like that. It shouldn't be too terribly difficult,
I
but
mean, it doesn't need
it
to
just
be
gotta
anything.
it's just gotta be a prototype that is an app and a step further along than what we were previously, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I think this actually needs to be looking like a usable working app.
Sure.
So do you want to try to actually make an app? Or do you want to go the other route of doing like a PowerPoint, stepping it through the workability section of it?
We're gonna be really totally honest. I would much rather do the PowerPoint. However, if we would like to have a presentable app, that is something that I can work on.
Say, how about
I just
you can try to work on the app?
Okay.
If you would
That's
like.
fine. get
Ashley,
a presentable something.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Ashley, you said one of your classes is making an app.
Yes.
Do you and Rob want to try to collaborate to get a workable app? And then Drake and I can work to get a PowerPoint to look like an app,
Yeah.
just so we have something.
Okay.
Well, even like
Either way.
if you guys get a somewhat decent workable app type deal,
Mhm.
to where we can even turn that PowerPoint in for the next time, and then for like final prototype thing,
Turn the
Right.
you guys can be working on that for however long it takes you,
We can do that.
but we can get that
That
PowerPoint
sounds
in.
that sounds
That sounds like
incredible,
a plan.
actually.
That sounds like a
'Cause I
plan.
would much rather do that than try and like bang out an app over the weekend.
I expect it by Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, we'll do
Get
that.
till
then.
11:59.
So Rob and Ashley will work on an app, and Drake and I will work on a PowerPoint for the next was probably I think next week maybe
Yeah,
that it's due. So we'll meet with we'll meet with the next the group next time with a PowerPoint, and then you guys can work on the app for our final.
Like that.
So do
just so
we
you
need
can
to-
slow grind it. Not
yeah, that way you guys can
full on
actually
grind.
that way you guys can actually
Yeah, that makes me feel much better because one, I could make something that actually looks a little bit more presentable, other than like, look, I spent 2 days working on this, and it will certainly show.
So do we need to get a list of what we need to get done for each in the long run?
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. And I guess this is sort of tangentially related back to the design journal and I suppose the project as a whole. Anybody have any thoughts in regards to team names or a name for this project?
I mean, I had road boats, but you know,
Rowboats. I saw Team Rowboats and I thought that was funny.
you remember like our first meeting, I said, let's do
Yeah.
sailboats in town or something. So
Yeah. I'm even
The-
fine with it just being team rowboats, and then we can like. But I'm curious. Does anybody have any like suggestions on like
like an actual
Uh,
team name.
either an actual team name or also like a name for the project itself, like the app slash like the system as a whole?
I mean, I've been calling it Smart Hub.
Smart Hub,
I like that name.
So
simple. It's to the point.
we could
Yeah.
also do something. I mean, I know they called it like a one-stop shop,
Hmm.
something maybe along the line of that.
Yeah. I feel like I always get too like flowery and like my naming schemes for things. Like I don't know. I read a lot of fiction, so my thought
Okay,
is to
well,
like name it
we know you have an
something.
idea, so let's hear it.
Well, I mean, so my initial thought was like I had done some like looking into various like old polytheistic gods of like travel or like the roads, like Hermes
Oh, you
or
are getting
Mercury
deep
or
into
something like that.
this.
I know, like yeah, this is like my specific wheelhouse of things. Just being a big nerd. So I don't know. I was thinking something like that, but I think like in terms of just conveying an idea, I think I do like Smart Hub as just like it's simple, it's easy to understand. Because you can at least look at that and like try to infer what it means versus like what in the world is Hermes. Um,
I mean, I could go corny and be like, drop it like a one stop or something.
I like that.
Some people are too young for that, I think.
What about Central Station? I feel like there's already a Central Station, and I feel like that could possibly get. I don't know. I second point, I guess, is does anybody besides me think that's something that we should even be kind of worrying about? Because I'm sure like that's just also something that I normally cycle through. So it could also just be a non-issue that I am making an issue.
I mean, I think there is a place for like a team name somewhere besides the first page.
Sure. I mean, I guess there's just all sorts of places named Central Station, so I feel less bad about that.
Could name it Essential Station.
Central Station. All right, now we're getting somewhere. I kind of like that.
I mean, essential.
Aussie Drake's thoughts.
I mean, it's supposed to
That
be.
sounds nice.
It's supposed to be an app where you can find everything travel related. So
Sure. I like that.
all about
Yeah,
the
I don't.
transit.
Oh. Um, I don't really care. I'm not really a name person. I like the Smart Hub, but whatever you guys are down for.
I
Doesn't
think that
bother me.
we should include Smart Hub somewhere in like at the very least the presentation of it, because that is what we're going for. But I do kind of like just like the branding aspect of Essential Station. I think that's got it's got some grab to it.
Yeah, I like Central Station better.
Central Station.
Yeah.
I'm down for that too.
So central.
Sure. Central Station. Kind of also conveys the point that we're getting to and possibly seems less corporate or at least grabby. Okay. So sorry, that aside.
Okay,
So we were talking about
go ahead.
breaking up what we should be doing for the next couple of projects, correct?
Yeah. So I think our we're in week 9. So week 10 is, so instead of an assignment, the project second prototype is actually listed as a web page, but I think this is supposed to be done in town, or not in town, in class. But so there's no really assignment due for this, but we will have to do the design journal part of it. But this is, see, this is where it gets kind of confusing. So I think it says to create a version 2 of your prototype.
Hmm.
And I don't know. And then maybe we're supposed to test it again. And then next week is also another conference. Oh, there's more stuff down here. Okay. Yeah, we're supposed to have next week, we're supposed to have another prototype and I think have another meeting with the other group.
Sweet.
It says and 1 or 2 more groups. We'll just do 1.
One's good enough.
So yeah, we're supposed to have our version 2 by next week.
Cool.
So we will can have a PowerPoint done.
Okay.
So Dre, so how do you want this PowerPoint? How much functionality do you want it?
I was thinking just like the arrows and then like, you know, the animations where that
Yeah.
you click and it just moves to the next thing
Yeah.
and stuff. Do stuff like that.
So I mean, from our feedback, what do you want to add more to this from our original?
It's
Pretty
more
much just-
function.
Yeah, the main page.
It's more functionality across the entire app. And like put more detail into the app.
Mhm. Let's see, where they.
I think maybe we need to have like a settings page to where it says turn off tracking
Yeah.
notifications. Because that was
Sure.
like one of, they didn't want to know that they were being tracked, but they understood that they were going to be tracked.
Sure.
Because then they would like to go back and save a route. So
Yeah, I think being able to save or edit routes is something that came up quite a bit. You're right. Also, the data privacy. So potentially ensuring that the app's turned off or not tracking you whenever it's not currently in use or something to that effect. Which I think is a pretty like standard feature for at least a lot of Apple apps these days that involve GPS. Not all of them, probably not as many as they should, but some of them. Let's see, what were the other ones? They had already mentioned, or they had mentioned the traffic cam integration and stuff, but I think that those are things that we
maybe we can just have maybe we can just have a camera symbol and it says show cameras near me or something.
well
Just
were
for
they
just
were
for the
they
PowerPoint.
Sure. I guess my question on that was, were they interested in potentially like seeing from like an intersection cam, or were they more interested in like just the data processing that's going on behind the scenes anyway.
I mean, if I'm using the app, I'm gonna want to see the intersection. I don't
Okay.
care. I don't care about the data part of it.
Sure. Well, I mean, yeah, you're not supposed to care about the data part. Okay, so that's fair. All right. So a traffic cam. They had mentioned the aspects of automatic rerouting. I think that like we should at least include that in there. That was something that I think I took for granted and assuming that would be in there, but I also don't use Apple Maps, so I didn't realize that that was in a feature elsewhere.
Yeah,
So
they didn't want the autocorrect routing, right?
I think they wanted options for both, and I think that options is what we should probably be leaning towards, is like making it so both are available.
Yeah,
right?
maybe
So you
maybe
have
have
the
it
option.
on the like the map screen, have it get me there fast, or have it a
But like a
button.
little rabbit or a tree, like tree for the scenic route or rabbit for the fast route or something to that effect. Or just a couple of buttons in the bottom corners, either or. And the display of arrival times on
Yeah.
like up front and on the main screen, or estimated arrival times.
For sure.
They would been able to purchase tickets on the screen.
Mm-hmm. I think that
We got 10 minutes left.
Okay.
We can start
I
another one.
think that we should make that just available through the secondary screen, because I really don't want to clutter up the main one. So whatever button that we're pressing to open up the thing that says public transit, Amtrak, whatever, that's where they're going to be going to get purchasing, because otherwise, like, I think that it'll just get way too cluttered on the front screen way too quick. It's already got a lot going on.
Yeah, we can keep that. Like on the prototype, it said like train schedules and bus schedules. We can say purchase tickets on there too.
Sure. Yes, I do think that should be in there as well, though. Yeah. Possibly in that same area, in that secondary screen, have like some sort of route builder or something like that, like an option that you can click to be able to design or lay out your own routes.
These can be on like a drop down. They can be on the drop down menu.
Correct. Yeah. Oh, just like in the main menu, drop down menu.
Yeah. Yeah. And the
I'm
main.
following. Yeah.
Yeah. Like in the top left corner, you would hit it and
Yeah.
be able to scroll down.
Sure.
Okay. So I think that's enough for probably a PowerPoint. And so Drake, how do you want to go about doing this PowerPoint? So you would, as soon as you open up the app, would it take you to the map?
Yeah, that's probably default. I would assume that would be your default.
So map would be first page. And then we could have probably need a current location, end location thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, on the map. Or is that where,
Mhm.
or on the map, is that what you're meaning? Like current location
Yeah.
versus yeah.
Because I mean, as soon as you open up the map, you're going to want to be able to type in
Yeah.
destination and stuff. So
I
And
feel like
you're
if we kind of have the same format, but like improve it and add more detail to it, I think we'll be good.
so it says we need to do. So I think on the first page, it can be, yeah, a map. And
Mhm.
then current location, destination, the menu button. And maybe,
You could have
Search bar
settings.
and the notifications.
do what?
The search bar
Oh.
and then the notification bar.
Oh,
But we could have that settings that you were talking about in the menu bar.
Yeah.
So we don't have to add that to the main screen or anything like that.
what do you,
Do we have any desire to like list out what's going to be in the menu bar? Like if you were to click on it and it
I
was
mean,
to
I
drop
think that
down
could be a page too. You would just,
Well, so here's my thought on it from like a layout, like a design perspective. So you would have the main screen that you have on the front page there. Your menu, you would just click and it would expand out and like kind of like transparently bubble over whatever your main screen is and give you your drop down options, kind of like most apps would. You click on it again and it'll shrink away. And then you swipe and have a second screen off to the right hand side they would swipe to, and that gives you the second menu for all of your transportation options for public transit or like commercial transit and stuff. Like just from a design perspective, I think that would be the easiest way to go about it, having 2 pages and then like a overlay for the menu itself.
yeah, and just being able to do that on PowerPoint.
Sure. So my thought on doing that for PowerPoint would be to do the one screen, like your front screen, your load in screen with the map and all of the, the search bar notifications, all of that information right there. And then on a next page, having the screen with like the drop down menu
Oh, I
laid
see.
over it.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah, so the first screen will be the map. So does that first screen look okay? Is that everything we need on that? It said on map screen though, do the option for the autocorrect. So do you guys want to have like the little person walking, car, or bicycle on the main screen? Or do we need to just do the fast and slow? And then it just automatically does it from there?
I kind of like that because I think just having the pictures as we have them now is driving people to specific forms of traffic, which is good, I guess. But we are, I guess, trying to look at this from like a wider transit angle. It might be beneficial to have like the walking person, the car, and the bikes potentially on the map representing different places where you might be able to get a bike from a bike share or get a ride or a bus or like a park to walk through or something like that. Thoughts?
I mean, or you could do instead of where to get those things, it's if you click the slow route, it will tell you the walking distance from here is 12 minutes.
Sure, and just give you other options.
Yeah. So
I kind of
you
like
could do
that.
that, how it gives you different routes and then just show the type of route it is instead of just doing your blue line.
Sure, it would just kind of
Arrival time.
pop up like another overlay, kind of like the menu would. I like that.
So do you want to do a fast and slow button and then incorporate the person, the car, and the bike in the map somewhere?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
We're doing the dragging thing, like dragging the. They were talking about it in our meeting, but dragging your line or Wow, my brain. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
no, no,
just
I'm
fucking-
following you. Like being able to drag your route and make that
Route.
to be able to drag and change your route. Yes.
Route is the word I was trying to spit out of my mouth.
Sometimes
Uh,
words are hard.
Are we gonna do that or not?
I mean, I do like the idea. I think that it at the very least is worth mentioning on there. I don't know how you might go about showing that. I guess you could just like,
Be hard.
Yeah, it would be hard on the PowerPoint. It would be a
I
lot.
mean,
I
all
think
right.
we're
So
already
if
gonna
you
have
were
enough
to
going on.
really, if you were to really make this like want to make this work, and like by all means, don't do this. You could do 2 pictures of the app screen, right? One of them being the initial route, and then the one behind it being the secondary route. Okay. And then you could put a clip art of a hand there, like just a pointing finger on the screen, and then animate the hand so it moves across the screen. And then whenever it gets to a certain point and a certain time, or you click a button, you can make the second picture flip up in front of the first one. And so it like, I used to do a lot of stupid animation stuff with PowerPoints in
Me
high
too.
school.
Yeah, me too. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So you could make it work. It's
Hey, we could.
definitely going for the gold star.
Okay.
But
I'm good.
yeah,
So
yeah, I would.
okay, so how about Drake? If you would want me to, I can work on the map screen if you would want to work on the other screen.
All right.
Unless you want to try to do the map screen.
It's all up to you.
I don't care.
As long as we have a list of what all we need, I can get whatever done.
Yeah,
And
'cause
do you
then-
want to do slides instead of actual PowerPoint? Google Slides.